hug real quick.
buddy.
What's up, buddy?
This is your wife, Chris Pratt. Welcome back.
Yeah, I feel.
Is this bizarre?
Sitting here, is this what we're doing?
This is it.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Man, I used to work here, bro.
I know.
Drink paddle. Surfside Corona Rita.
Have you had one of those?
They didn't serve Corona Ritas when I was at my Bubba.
They've upgraded.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Bubba Gump.
Thank you.
It's good to see you, buddy.
It's so good to be back. It's good to see you too.
Okay, the reason we're here, aside from the fact that why
It's the
not be
greatest
at Bubba
American
Gump?
restaurant in the world.
About 20 years ago, almost exactly, I feel
Yeah,
like.
20.
You were discovered in a
Yes.
Bubba Gump, which is not the typical Hollywood success story. You might be the only one.
The only ones discovered in a Bubba Gump
Maybe.
that I know of. Yeah. Yeah, it was about 20 years ago, which is coming on half of my life. And I was like, 19, living in Maui, literally living in a van, and was waiting tables at Bubba Gump, maybe 20 hours a week, enough to basically get my insurance. And I didn't have much overhead because I lived in a car.
Right.
And
That'll
I
cut
was
into
just,
the overhead, yep.
chilling as a teenager on the beach, and waited on a director who gave me a start.
Yeah.
That's the rest is history.
So you were happy. I mean, you were living like kind of like an odd kind of life, but
For
you
sure.
were young. It was
great, yeah.
Maui. I mean, what's the
It was
complaint
amazing.
about?
Literally the only thing that could have taken me away is if someone plucked me out of the restaurant and said, "Listen, you have to go to Hollywood.
Right.
We got you a movie."
Right.
That was the only thing. It wasn't going to be anything else.
I've already had 6 pineapple margaritas. What was your go-to drink here?
Wow. Well, I was
Drink or
19
food? Oh, yeah, obviously.
at the time, so I didn't even know what alcohol was.
Of course.
But should I had to have made a choice at that point, it would have been the Delta Sunset.
Got it. What's in that? Yeah.
All sugar. It's 4,000 grams of sugar, and some tequila. But what's great is you serve in the shaker glass.
Right. That's the paddle.
Right now
of
they
course.
serve the Surfside Corona Rita, and the Surfside Corona Rita is essentially the shaker drink cup with a Corona holder. So you pour the margarita, you dump a Corona in the top, and the more you drink out of the margarita, the more the Corona drips in.
I mean,
It's pretty sick.
the team of scientists that came up with that one.
It's true, and it's brilliant because after you leave the fine dining establishment, you walk through the merch shop, you buy yourself a couple Corona Rita shake mixer cups to take home to be like, I was in Times Square, or I was in Maui and I took this home with me. And then you take it to your friends and make them all jealous.
I feel like you're angling for a job. You know you're gainfully employed. You don't need to go back to Bubba Gump.
I don't know that I'm gainfully employed. I might never work again, and if that's the case, I have thankfully, a set of skills that would allow me to be step right in.
A man of 1,000 talents.
I was the Gumper of the year.
I've heard this.
Yeah, I was like the cardboard cutout Gumper character. You wanted me, but you want to hear the funniest thing? This is actually the funniest thing. I don't know if I've ever told anyone this. My name, Christopher. I wrote Christopher on my pin, and the fur got rubbed off, and so it said Christo, right? Oh. So everyone at Bubba Gump called me Christo. Christo, Christo, Christo. In fact, Josh, when I was going to Hollywood, there was a moment where I contemplated going by just Christo.
Wait. No last name? No Pratt?
Yeah. It's so
You're such an idiot. Why didn't you do that?
I could have. I blew it. Christo. My hair wasn't flowy enough.
Oh, I love it.
Wouldn't that have been sweet?
It would have been a
Yo,
different
what's up?
life.
It's Christo. You may know me from Celebrity Rehab.
No. So, okay, looking back, past
Looking back.
Bubba Gump,
Yeah.
it seems like you've had 3 kind of huge breaks, to my eyes, in your life. It was, I mean, beyond even the Bubba Gump moment. Parks and Rec, Moneyball, Guardians. Which of those felt the most kind of life-altering in the moment or in the months afterwards? Which do you?
Honestly, the most life-altering was Everwood.
Okay.
Because that's
Getting a
when
series regular.
That was when I
yeah.
stopped being a waiter. Because when
Right.
I moved from Bubba Gump's into Beverly Hills, I got paid $700 for that movie. So it's not like I was on the easy street.
Right.
Actually, the big game changer was a movie called The Extreme Team, which no one ever saw. Yeah. Shot in New Zealand. It was a movie of the week for USA back when they used to fund these like $15 million budget movies for movies of the week for TV movies. And I shot it. No one ever saw it. It might have got shown in like Australia or something. But that paid
Christo
me.
was huge in Australia. When
Yeah,
that one
Christo
came out.
he went straight to the top, mate. And Christo, they love Christo down there. I looked Australian.
Statues of
In
you.
fact, I looked exactly like Heath Ledger. I remember looking at
the
billboards of
yeah.
him from Knight's Tale and being like, oh well, They already got one of
Beat
me.
me to it.
They already got it. That guy's got my whole, and he's super good at acting. I don't even have that part yet. So that was the game changer. And then I came back and I was just about out of money, and I booked Everwood, and that was 4 seasons of TV money. Like I was able to, buy a house, buy my mom a house. Like it changed my life,
Huge.
and I had a career at that point.
And then jumping like way ahead, I know.
Way ahead, yeah.
But like,
but of those 3, Parks and Moneyball
and Guardians. Well, I guess my question is Guardians, and we've talked about this a little bit before. But like Guardians clearly is another kind of a leap. Would you have been happy, kind of being the quote unquote lovable schlub for another 10 years in your career?
Completely, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Truly, the bar for me was set as, do I have to go back to waiting tables?
Right.
If I don't, then I was going to be fine. And like the lovable schlub character, it's a working job in LA.
Sure.
That's like a hard thing to come by. And I thought for a while that would be my niche. I thought there's no one else really doing this. All the vanity is taken out of it. I kind of hope that there's a possibility that could be the next step after these action roles, is just kind of settling into a real character and doing some actual real comedy, outside of voice stuff. Who knows what the next one looks like? But I think I'd have been I'd have been happy doing anything as long as I wasn't waiting tables.
I mean, prior to getting Star-Lord, did any of the auditions that didn't pan out really sting you? The Star Trek, the Avatar, did any of those really kind of stick with you?
I think the one that stuck with me the most was Avatar. I think it was Avatar. Yeah, it was either Avatar or Star Trek. It was in this. I think they cast in the same spot. I remember in the description it was like, this character has it. Can't put our finger on it, but it's the it factor. And when I walked into that room, I didn't feel like I had that at all.
Right.
And neither did they. I mean, they walked in and I was like, hi, I'm Chris. They're like, okay, hey. And they just like, the cameras were rolling. They never looked at me. The camera saw me, and I'm sure they probably even never gave that tape to anybody.
Right.
That stung a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
We can laugh about those moments now, because here we are with your 16 different ginormous franchises,
Yeah.
including Lego.
In fact, I played a game of Mafia with J.J. Abrams, and I killed him first. And he asked me why. I told him,
Now you know.
Now you know. I auditioned for Star Trek, and he didn't even give me a call back.
Christo sends his regards.
Christo sends he's so amazing. I'd love to work with him.
Totally. We need to talk a little bit about Lego Movie 2, the second part, which I was telling you when you walked in, I adored these movies.
Thanks, dude.
I truly do. And this one is any Lego movie that can include both Ruth Bader Ginsburg and an homage to Mad Max.
You're in?
Good
That's
by
all
me.
it takes. That's
I
all
mean,
it takes.
I'm a simple man,
Yeah,
Chris.
yeah, that's right.
Part of the pleasure of this one, I know for you, is you get to play a couple different roles, a new role for you.
Yeah. I get to voice 2 characters.
Right.
Emmett Brakowski, the character from the first movie, and then there's this new character. It's called, he's Rex Danger Vest. And
Which was your stripper name, too.
That
I
was my
believe.
stripper name, yeah. I just got down to just my vest. I never took the vest off. That was my signature move.
Leave him wanting more. That's what I
Trademark
always
that, yeah.
No, but Rex Danger Vest, which is kind of an amalgam of all Chris Prattage in the last few years.
Completely, yeah. The first movie really paralleled my life in a strange, unintentional way.
Right.
Because I was Emmett Brakowski, or Emmett Brakowski turns into the special. He's given an opportunity to become a hero. And in the middle of voicing the Lego movie, that 2-year process, I got cast in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
And went through this like body transformation and this career transformation. It all was very public. And so it was interesting to see how this ordinary, optimistic, lovable guy gets a chance to do something really great and is accepted as a hero.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was what happened in my life. And so this time around, when we were talking about what are we going to do for a sequel, I talked to them very early on, and I said, listen, you may not have realized it, but I was your muse in the first movie. So please
use me again.
Use me again. Like, you mine from the zeitgeist constantly for pop culture references in a lot of the comedy that they do. And this is a movie that has like several laughs per minute. It's just loaded with, I don't remember the last time I saw a comedy that had this many jokes. And so they definitely did that. I mean, he's a raptor trainer, cowboy, galaxy defending, social media influencer who loves to make furniture. And I'm like, okay.
I was gonna joke about the different voices. They are different, distinct voices. Like,
Yeah,
it's variations on a theme. But like Emmett is distinctly different from Rex.
Yes.
It's distinctly different from the Chris I'm seeing here.
Right.
Is that fun for you to kind of like modulate a little bit? It's not going like Christian Bale, but it is going
Right.
like.
It's going way past what Christian Bale's ever done.
No, that's
Let's be
what I
serious.
meant. That's what
It's fun. It's really fun. Yeah, it was a challenge, and I think especially because Emmett is this high registered, optimistic guy, and I kind of loosely based it on what Bill Hader did in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. I looked at him and I thought I tried to do my impression of what he sounds like as Flint Lockwood. Like I really loved what he did with that, and so I borrowed from one of the greats and Bill Hader on that. And then, so when I was creating the character, yeah, kick me in the nuts. I just said that. When I was
when
working,
you dove in for 6 months into Lego World and was studying, and you were
don't look at me. When we were working on figuring out what this Rex Danger Vest was going to sound like, we threw everything against the wall. At one point, I wanted him to be Australian, and it was painful trying to figure it out. But also, what made this specifically complicated is Will Arnett does Batman in this movie.
Right.
So if you're trying to do a character who's macho, who's a little tougher, my initial instinct was to do this voice, but I was like, oh wait, he's doing that for Batman. So I had to find a way to make it distinct from Emmett, but also not stepping on the territory of what Will does with Batman in this. So we found this new way to do it.
A little Kurt Russell in there too, maybe.
That's what I keep hearing. Yeah, there's a little bit of that, a little John Wayne. Maybe it's very Americana.
Yeah.
And I think what this character does that's not dissimilar to what Kurt Russell does sometimes is there's a lot of fun and laughter in his voice.
Totally.
And so Rex will laugh into a word.
Speaking of Batman, I just noticed the bookmakers in Ireland have you as a 16-1 odds to take over the Batman character.
Really?
They're looking for a new Batman. Should I place that bet, Chris?
Wow. I didn't know that. You can bet on this stuff?
Yeah, apparently. I mean, Ireland, I think you can bet on everything, apparently.
We should bet enough to budget the movie. And then just do a boondoggle Batman that just gets 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Will you be Joker?
I think we found the one way to make this flop.
I'd love to. That'd be awesome.
Now, Armie Hammer and Jake Gyllenhaal currently have better odds. I just want to put this in perspective.
I could see that. I don't know what you do now because it's there's been so many iterations of it.
Right.
Would you go even lower? I did my voice even more gravelly. Batman. Oh, wow.
Break glass. I just saw our mutual buddy Jeff Goldblum in Sundance.
Come on.
I mean, the greatest.
Did he charm your pants off?
Yeah.
Dude is so amazing.
I just want to be around him all the time.
Yes. He's always singing. He knows a lot about movies.
He teased that hopefully we're going to get to see Ian Malcolm actually leave a courtroom in the next Jurassic. I mean, Colin has talked about bringing full circle these other characters in. Have you seen a script? How much do you know about the...
I know the whole thing.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So...
Open.
Yeah. Okay, you remember, like in the Flintstones, how they have the dinosaurs that work as cranes?
Right.
And they have cavemen who operate cars with their feet? Yeah. We're doing none of that. I can't say anything, but I can tell you, when I heard the pitch, I was blown away, and I can't believe that we're going to make that movie, and I can't believe they found a way to deliver on the promise of the end of Fallen Kingdom, the end of Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, what? The island is blown up. The animals are out. We can't put them back in the box. What are we going to do? How is not only these dinosaurs, but this technology moving forward going to affect the planet? And we jump forward. It's like, oh, right. Oh, damn. So he's been working his butt off on it, and it's going to be pretty epic.
I just want to see you with a little Ian Malcolm and Sattler and Grant.
I just saw Laura too the other day, and we discussed a little bit some of the stuff, and I mean, you will not be disappointed.
Okay, I believe it. Another thing you can't talk about at all, Avengers Endgame. Did you at least know the title before the world did at all?
No, I found that, in fact, someone was like, what do you think of the title Avengers Endgame? I was like, I don't know that that's really the title, and I'm not going to say anything about it, because what if it's not? And then they'll be like, Chris spoils it. Yeah, no, I didn't know the title.
But it sounds like you were among the privileged few. It sounds like you've read a script, like you know what happens in this.
Yeah, I know everything that happens.
I also ran into another mutual friend of ours, Kevin Feige, recently.
You did?
Who said that Guardians is happening. It's not if, it's when.
Yeah, for sure.
Are there mixed emotions about this right now? I mean, obviously James was so important to your career. He's a friend, and presumably he's not going to be directing the third installment.
Right.
How are you feeling about completing this trilogy without James as the director?
Well, I love James, and I'm loyal to James, and I love him so much. And we're gonna deliver the movie. We're gonna give the fans what they deserve, and I think it's in the nature of the Guardians of the Galaxy to come together and get the job done, and that's what we'll do.
Yeah. Are you working off of James's script, presumably? It sounds like you guys are.
Yeah.
And you've read that script?
Yeah, I have. It's off the chain. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. Life is so good. Wow. I can't believe it. I can't believe I have all the knowledge of 3 highly anticipated movies inside my brain, and you're asking me, and I could straight up spoil all of them right now.
Get this man a
This would be
margarita.
the
Get this man 17 margaritas.
Get him a Corona-rita.
Exactly.
All right, so there I was. Yeah, and I can't even. I'm not even sure which one. They're all so good.
Yeah. Not to mention, congratulations. You're engaged now.
Oh, yeah.
Very happy for you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Does this bring you closer to an Arnold Schwarzenegger twins reboot? You guys, is that what this is all about?
That's the long game. And it's when I proposed. I said, "Is there any way I could get my Predator box set signed?"
I mean,
That's what it's been. It's been a really She was like, "You could have just asked." I was like, "No, this was way more elaborate."
Does this mean you have to retire an Arnold impression? Because I feel like we all have Arnold impressions.
I never had one.
Really?
I've never had. That's right.
Okay.
So.
I'm gonna dig in through the archives. I'm sure there's something somewhere.
Well, what's funny is when I won the MTV Action Star Award, the first person I thanked was Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I was like, Arnold, and then I went through a whole list of action stars, iconic action stars who had an influence on me as a kid.
Right.
And after the news broke, that Catherine and I were engaged, someone sent me that, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'd forgotten about that.
Right.
But I was really glad that I listed him first.
Now we just need to find out how Jean-Claude Van Damme is going to work his way into your life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. I'll be like, he's the ring bearer. It's like, yeah. Kicks the ring up like an inch from my face, holds it perfectly still. Oh, dream wedding. Wow, life is good.
As we
Wow, in a Bubba Gump. Is my life a computer simulation? If I wake up in my van and I have a half a joint in my hand, I'm gonna be like, you're not even gonna believe what just happened. Wow. How long was I out? Oh God, I'd wake up 20 years ago. You know what I'd do? I'd start writing the Avengers and Guardian Jurassic. I would do all that stuff. I didn't invent Facebook.